is a story of scary things, of a villain, the coyote, and of a hero, the third little Halloween. They came to a place where the path divided, and each went their own way. First little Javelino wandered lazily along. He didn't see a dust storm whirling across the desert until it had caught him. He was left sitting in a pile of tumbleweeds. I think I'll make a house with him. And in no time at all, he did. But along came a coyote. He snuck quickly and quietly through the desert, and he soon came upon.
Now Pa just rot and fell apart and lived unhappily ever after. The prince thought these frightening, terrifying kinds of thoughts, and a few worse, too horrible to tell, until far away in the village, the clock struck midnight. The carriage turned back into the Frog Prince, and he ran all the way back to the castle where the princess was waiting for him. Where have you been? I've been worried sick. You're 7 hours late, your dinner is cold, and your clothes are a mess. The prince looked at the princess who had believed him when no one else in the world had. The princess who had actually kissed his slimy frog lips. The princess who loved him.
Before long, she was in the deepest part of the woods.
Oh, this is scary. Good afternoon, my dear. Care to stop for a little chat?
Oh, gracious me. Mama said not to speak to any strangers, but the wolf had such charming manners.
And where are you going, sweet thing?
I'm on my way to visit Granny, who lives in the yellow house on the other side of the woods. She's feeling poorly, and I'm taking her as a surprise.
You don't say. Allow me to escort you. You never know what might be lurking about.
Oh, you're too kind. Beyond the forest, they came to a patch of sunflowers.
Why not pick a few? Grannies love sunflowers, you know.
But while Red Riding Hood was picking a pretty bouquet, the clever little wolf hurried on off to Granny's house.
Who is it? It is I, your delicious, your darling granddaughter. The door is unlocked. Surprise! Oh!
Get out of here, you horrid thing! But the wolf gobbled her right up. He didn't even bother to chew.
Tasty. So tasty.
Here comes dessert! And losing no time, the clever little wolf pulled on Granny's cap and glasses and hopped into bed and pulled over the covers.
He knew what was happening. This is a magic ride. It is a magic ride. And never anyone comes along and says, isn't this a strange Down he goes. This is a good thing to know. And I know just how to use it. So Nancy the spider when walking through the forest.
Ha! Senor Lobo, muy tonto. I'm sorry to say, but I won't let you in. Oh, do I huff and puff like a Texas tornado and be like a casita from here to Laredo. Senor Lobo huff and puff and huff and puff and huff and puff until he came out of it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down the chimney. So Senor Lobo climbed to the little house. Ah! Ow! Ow! Ow!
Oh, Senor Lobo's in the roof. He's going down the chimney. We should run away.
Yeah, we should run away. No, we're not going to run away. I know the better way to deal with him.
Once, there was a boy who was never frightened. He had not enough sense to be scared. Well, one day, Hans and his big sister were walking home after dark. The road led past the graveyard where the moonlight lit up the rows of tombstones. Hans' sister began to shiver and shake.
Oh, this place gives me the willies. The willies? What are the willies? Do I have to tell you everything? The willies are when you get so scared that you shiver and shake. I never had anything like that. I wish I could get the willies, and I know what they're like.
Eek! And then they realized what was happening, or had happened. What's happening? Nice outfit. The emperor has no clothes, nope. But this must be the big fella. Food's gone, yup. Showtime's over, yup. I guess it's up to me. So he quickly gathered a snowball cone and offered it to the emperor. No fish. And then he gathered all the unpopped balloons and made a hat for the emperor. Very comfortable. And then he did his favorite hoppity floppity dance and sang a song for the emperor. How many toes does a fish have? I wonder, yup, I wonder. And how many wings on a cow? Wow! I wonder, yup, I wonder. Ha ha ha! This was the funniest entertainment he'd seen in years. And he didn't have to wear his uncomfortable visiting costume, or admire dull decorations, or boring entertainment. The emperor...
Once upon a time, there were 3 little javelinas. They set out one day to seek their fortunes, and soon they came to a place where the path divided. Each went their own way. The first little javelina wandered lazily along. He didn't see a dust storm whirling across the desert until it caught him. He was left sitting in a pile of tumbleweeds.
Mamma mia. She didn't have to look twice to know what happened. She sang the song and blew the 3 kisses. 1, and 2, 3. And with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. Oh, grazie, grazie, thank you, Stregonona, the townspeople cried, but they turned on Big Anthony. String him up! Now, wait, the punishment must have fit the crime. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and held it out to Big Anthony. All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from me pasta pot, and I want to sleep in me bed tonight, so start to eating. And he did, for Big Anthony. Enough, my pasta pot. My pasta.
Hi, everyone! I'm Young Mouse, and I am the strongest mouse in the whole plains. As you can see, we both have the problem of being full of ourselves, and that can get you into some trouble sometimes. That's for sure. This is the story of Young Mouse by Pamela J. Ferris. In the lush grass of the savannah lived a village of mice, and in that village lived one mouse who was very strong and very proud. No one could throw further, run faster, or out-wrestle him. One day, Young Mouse was sitting by his grandfather's hut, breaking dried grass in his paws. You know, Grandfather, I am very strong. Why, I must be the strongest mouse in the whole village. That's true. Why, I am so strong, I must be the strongest mouse in the whole plains.
School is no place for me. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower. Oh, Pish, your name is beautiful. And precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome. It's everything you are. Absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum had a dream that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked as slowly as she could, dragging her feet in the sand. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote.
Just then, the oldest stepsister rode into the arena on the buckling bronco. But before she could say, oopsie daisy, that cayuse wrinkled her spine, boiled over, and set her chasing the clouds. And then she bit the dust. Next came the second stepsister. But she couldn't ride a steel fence in a steel breeze. And pretty soon, she was eating gravel along with her sister. Cindy Allen helped her stepsisters off and brushed them off, but they didn't even recognize her. My turn, said Cindy Allen, and she climbed aboard a salty brook. And first he croaked, and he capped back, and he sunfished, and he windmilled. But Cindy Allen stuck on like a horse-stitched there. And so, Cindy Allen was the winner. Next, she won the trick walking event, and then her and her little horse really burned the breeze, and they won the horse race too.
Child, you come down here and show us way back through the woods. If you don't, we'll tell your mom how bad you are. Just tell her how scared I am of those ladies by the ears and noses. And then see if I come back. Back home, the milk in the dish had turned red and boiled. Here, dogs, here. dogs are coming. Well, get it going. When the two ladies had left, Candy Ann climbed down from the tree. She was so busy thinking about the bears. That she'd taken a wrong turn.
Nice and hot, and sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled. The Aunt Phil was steaming hot pasta. The Anthony ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, "Guys, guys, I did it! I made the magic pasta pot work! Pasta for Aunt Striganona's house!" They all laughed, but got their forks and plates and platters and bowls and headed over to Striganona's. "This is the best pasta I've ever had, and no better than your grandmama's." Big Anthony was a hero.
Granny, what big eyes you have. The better to see you, my dear. And Granny, what long arms you have. The better to hug you, my dear. And Granny, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you, my dear. And he gobbled her right up. What? Wicked. I'm so wicked.
Why, yes, Anansi. I'd love to go for a walk with you. So Anansi the spider, an elephant, went walking through the forest. After a while, Anansi led Elephant to a certain place. "Oh, Elephant, do you see what I see?" "Why, yes, Anansi. It's a stranger, moss-covered rock." Elephant fell to the ground, senseless. An hour later,
Hey, are you Elephant? Why, no. I'm just a lizard. Well, in that case, consider yourself fortunate. For if you'd been Elephant, I would have broken you apart and zombed you to bits! The lizard just sighed. For he knew Elephant. When young Mouse saw this, he stomped his paw. Huh! Just then, a great clap of thunder roared across the sky. That little mouse made the sky tremble, and the lizard